Hello and welcome to the review of the fourth day's play in the second test match at Adelaide. My name is John Etheridge, cricket correspondent of the Sun, and the first thing to say is that we still have a game in place. It's almost over. England finished 247 for 6, so just 4 more wickets required by the Aussies on day 5 to wrap up the victory and take a 2-0 lead in the Ashes series with 3 tests to play. But England fought a little bit better today. Certainly their second innings batting was more resistant, more battling than they showed in the first innings. Joe Root made 87, batted really well actually. He's been promoted of course to number 3 since Jonathan Trott has gone home. Kevin Pietersen made his first half century of the series, and it was another tense, fractious sort of day. In fact, in the closing overs it all got rather ugly with heated words being exchanged between Mitchell Johnson, who's been the scourge of England of course in this series so far, and Stuart Broad. Matt Pryor got involved, so did Michael Clarke. A little bit earlier we had Ben Stokes, the England debutant, clashing shoulders with Mitch Johnson. So a bit heated, a bit nasty once again, pretty much like what we saw in the first test towards the end there in Brisbane. But England is still alive. I think it's going to take an absolute miracle for them to somehow escape with a draw from this game. I say only 4 more wickets required by the Aussies, and really it needs some serious interruption from the weather. There are the odd shower forecast, but I don't think there's going to be enough rain to save England, to be honest. But let's go back to the start of the day, and the first thing to note is that Michael Clarke declared overnight. David Warner was 83 not out, and people thought Clarke would bat on to give Warner the chance of getting his second 100 of the series, but with one eye on the weather, Clarke decided to declare and get straight stuck into England from the start. England set a nominal target of 531 runs to win, which is never really realistic. Obviously more than 100 runs than any other team has achieved in the 4th innings chasing down in the history of Test cricket. So a pretty unlikely target for England, and it became even more unlikely in the second over when Alistair Cook, who's had a pretty poor game to be honest with the bat, he hooked at one from Mitch Johnson yet again, and the ball flew to Ryan Harris down at long leg, and he held a pretty good low catch. So that was England's captain dismissed in the second over of the innings, and when Michael Carberry fell in a similar manner, he sort of pulled one to a long leg, and Nathan Lyon held the catch there. When he was out, England were 20 for 2, and you thought this game could be over today. But Root and Pietersen put on 111 for the 3rd wicket and batted with a good deal of composure actually. Root particularly played really well. He looked calm and composed and solid, and a lot of verbals going on, but he just smiles, that sort of angelic smile that he's got. He could be a choir boy, couldn't he? But in fact, behind that baby face is plenty of steel actually, and Joe Root has impressed a lot of people so far on this tour. Pietersen batted well. He got himself in this time. None of these rather reckless and sloppy flicks to mid-wicket. He got himself in. He took a liking to Steve Smith, the part-time wrist spin bowler who came on, and Pietersen hit him for 3 sixes actually and reached 50, but then he dragged on a ball from Peter Siddle and was bowled, and that's the 9th time that Peter Siddle has dismissed Kevin Pietersen in Test matches, more than any other bowler. So he does seem to be a bit of a sort of rabbit, I suppose you could almost say, for Siddle. Root carried on and looked solid, and he thought he's going to get 100. Ian Bell, who had top scored in the first innings with 72 not out, he didn't really get going this time, and he fell in the most frustrating way really. It was a full toss from Steve Smith, and he went to hit it over the top, but it just toe-ended the ball, and it went to mid-on where Mitch Johnson took a pretty good low tumbling catch. So Bell was out for a single-figure score, and then Root, when in sight of his 100, just got a little edge, and the ball deflected off his leg, and Brad Haddin was able to come round from the stumps and take the catch off Nathan Lyon, the bowler on that occasion. So England then 5 down, but a good little bit of resistance from Ben Stokes. He made 28 on his debut. Looked good actually. He led a bit of a charmed life. A couple of reviews went in his favour. One very sharp chance to George Bailey at short leg, but he did okay. So and he seemed to relish the fight. He got stuck in a little bit, and that's a clash of shoulders with Mitch Johnson. But then in the very next over after that incident, he got a good ball actually and was caught at second slip by Michael Clarke. And then we had Stuart Broad coming into the wicket to his normal cacophony of boos from the crowd and his bombardment from Mitch Johnson. He really plenty of short balls and took a couple of blows on the body as well, but he survived. And Matt Pryor, who's been so woefully out of form in this series, he also survived. So England have got some minuscule amount of hope, I suppose, for the morning, but really it relies on the rain. Both Pryor and Broad will resume in the 20s, and England will start day 5, 247 for 6, praying really for a miracle, but at least they've shown a little bit more fight in this second innings. So that's me saying thanks for watching the review of day 4 in the second test, and cheers.